Who created PayPal? Here is its story. It is hard to imagine a world where Elon Musk isn't getting his hands into all things tech. The most recent big splash he's gone through is Twitter. And in case you've been living under a rock, this purchase is not only because of the money, but also because of what he plans to do with it. In an ironic closing of a circle, Musk has said that his vision for Twitter is to be payments app. If he managed to accomplish this, he'd be going face to face with a mafia that not only saw him rise to tech stardom, but also shaped Silicon Valley as we know it today. There is no need for mugshots, though we use them in our video because this group of nerdy bad boys dominates the startups world. We know who they are. From the founders of this band of misfits to its youngest members, they all have achieved great success. They are contrasting plethora of rebellious nerds, each with their own rules and work culture. They are the PayPal Mafia, and Musk is one of its most recognizable members. But he isn't the only one. In fact, among all its members, this group has helped launch more than 600 startups and change how we worked. Who created PayPal? In 2023, there were 433 million PayPal users, and 20 billion payments had gone through the platform. For many, it's the ideal payment platform, and small businesses have come to rely on it. Still, if you go back to its origins, the execution was anything but perfect. It all goes back to the late 90s. Back then, tech entrepreneurs Peter Thiel, Max Levchin, and Luke Nosek wanted to dive into digital payments. We must remember that back then, e-commerce was just beginning. The few businesses venturing into online payments had nothing close to a decent platform to work on, so Thiel, Levchin, and Nosek took it upon themselves to solve this, and that is how Confinity was born. At first, the three tried many ideas, including a Palm of Pilot to Palm Pilot IOU system, which sounded awful and performed just as poorly. Fortunately for them, times were moving very fast. In months, Confinity had gone through several projects and learned enough to land on a payment system called PayPal that would allow users to transfer money digitally. Transferring money online with little hassle was the key to success, and by creating a platform where it could be done integrally, the PayPal idea gained strength. At the same time, Confinity made a crucial step. In March 2000, Confinity merged with an online bank called X.com and took the letter's name. The founder of X.com was none other than Elon Musk. In April of that year, the controversial South African took over as CEO, with Thiel becoming chairman of the board. Musk's tenure as a CEO was long or as short as summer love. By October 2000, he stepped down as a CEO and Thiel took over, with Musk remaining on the board. But that is not to say his presence didn't have a direct impact. If Musk's leadership has come under fire as of late, with his handling of Twitter, it seems like a reflection of the past. As the CEO of X.com, Musk was biased and favored his side of the company instead of the overall idea of Confinity. Heads butted, and it got to a point in which a figurative coup d'état occurred. One of the most dramatic in Silicon Valley history, according to the author Ashley Vance. A small group of X.com employees gathered one night at Fanny and Alexander, a now defunct bar in Palo Alto, and brainstormed about how to push out Musk. They decided to sell the board on the idea of Thiel returning as CEO. Instead of confronting Musk directly with this plan, the conceptorate decided to take action behind Musk's back. After a successful betrayal, depending on who you ask, the company assigned Peter Thiel as CEO and in no time ditched the X.com moniker. Thus, it became known as PayPal in 2001 and was an immediate success. That same year, the company amounted to 10.2 million users. By February 2002, 4 years after the initial idea and just months after renaming itself as PayPal, the company successfully went public, going from $13 to a closing value of $20. While the startup was enjoying impressive numbers, behind closed doors, money was scarce. Its chaotic upbringing meant there was little control, but fortune had it. They would have a stroke of luck. In July of that year, eBay announced it would buy PayPal for $1.5 billion, finalizing the acquisition by October. Everyone who had been a part of the company walked out a millionaire. It is a fascinating, fast-paced story that doesn't end with eBay purchasing the struggling startup. In fact, this is just the beginning of the PayPal mafia, and it all starts with the Don Peter Thiel and the loyal consigliere Levchin, who made PayPal successful. The mafia is all about loyalty. There is a lot of value behind the people you hire, whether in the startup world or the Castellamares war. Thiel was no different. Most of his working methods have rubbed off on other founders. It only takes one quick read about his hiring process. I wanted to build a company where everybody would be really great friends, and no matter what happened with the company, the friendships would survive, he told Tech Republic. Loyalty, therefore, was essential. Thiel was reiterated that he not only hired his friends, but possible friends as well. Many who worked at PayPal came from Thiel's earliest days as students at Stanford University. Levchin was no different, as he hired many classmates from his college days in Chicago. So, it pays to make buddies at university. That could be the primary value of higher education. Those entering the company faced formidable challenges. Levchin and his minions were fixing fraud issues and regulatory problems. At the same time, Thiel tried to sort out how to tackle the competition. The goal was to keep the PayPal ship afloat. That is not to say these were wrong movies. Imagine being put to the challenge with people you don't like. It was a good thing they hired their friends. Like kids growing up in tough neighborhoods, the guys at PayPal rallied together and took a blood oath, such as refusing outside help. Their hiring process was just personal. The two co-founders didn't want jocks nor MBAs or consultants, for that matter. For example, they didn't hire anyone who played basketball because, as Levchin told CNN, everyone I knew in college who liked to play hoops was an idiot. So, I guess, sorry, basketball players? There were other ways of going about things that were atypical. Here is a list of some of Thiel's hiring practices. Hire people who live and breathe numbers and who speak multiple languages. Recruit from the Midwest. Let everyone from managers to grunts see all the data, including traffic, revenue, and burn rate. Make decisions based on facts and argument, not experience. If your strategy isn't working out, be prepared to change your company's direction. Avoid interminate unproductive meetings. Foster a competitive, hypermasculine work environment, but no jokes. Competing on a ping pong table instead of the basketball court is better, whatever that means. Force out anyone who disagrees with your values. And if you leave, stay in touch with the inner circle and invest in their startups. So, if this was the list that was hard to fulfill, who did they hire? Who were the original PayPal members? There is no way of knowing if the person sitting next to you will be hugely successful in the future. So, as Thiel said, it is always good to keep in touch after parting ways. That is a valuable tip, but it is not only about what you do after you leave. It is also about cultivating the same attitude between you and your peers. Many books and articles have covered how a collection of nerdy geniuses fueled a company culture that went 100 meters per hour, promoted cockiness, and stood up to whatever challenges lay ahead. This attitude was a combination of need and desire. As we explained, times were tough.